Hello, everybody. It's Kaylee here from Every Branch and Twig, and we're going to have Carlie Maree join us shortly because she's asked me to do some research on her family. As she had a grandmother who told her as a child that she was related to Princess Diana Spencer. So we'll just have a look. Here she is. How do I say adding you? Hello.
Hello. Let me just get
How you
set
going?
I'm good. I was all set up to be on landscape and we're on portraits, and now I'm like adjusting this.
Oh, do I need to change?
No, it's fine. We're precariously balancing, but it's balancing. It's fine.
Beautiful.
It's all good.
All right.
Hello.
Wonderful.
Oh my
So
God,
I was just.
my family is watching.
Ah! That's right. They might learn something. So the story was that your nana used to tell you as a little girl that you were related to Princess Diana Spencer. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the story she used to tell you?
Yeah. So either I'm royalty or my nana was, let's say, a great storyteller. Probably, potentially both. So my nana was this really cool lady. Her real name was Gertrude, but she called herself Jane. And she is just totally eccentric. And she used to just be, she would always give me like lots of lollies. And she was just this like really cool nana that like I actually wouldn't really want to be the nana to my kid, because I'd be like, stop filling her head with stories and giving her lollies. But as a kid, she was the best.
Yeah.
And
of course.
they had a stud farm, so I used to go and like play with ponies at my nana's house. It was the best, and she was amazing. And she died when I was probably early teens, or just before I went into my teens. Anyway, she would always tell, and her surname was Spencer, and she would always tell me that we were related to Lady Di, because Lady Di was still alive at the time, and she was like,
yep.
The world, of course, worshipped her, and I worshipped her. She was a princess, and and so she would say, do you know that you're a princess, and probably one day they're going to come and knock on the door and say, could you come and be a princess now? It's time for you to come to the castle. So this was like so sad as a kid, and all my life I've just assumed that it was true. And then in the last year or so, I kind of went, she was just like my dad telling me that like the dog ran away to a farm thing, whereas it probably hit by a car, like the stories that like, that probably wasn't true. That probably was just a story she used to tell me. So I'm really interested to know. And if it's not true and she was just telling me stories, like I'm totally like so much love for her, and I'm totally like, oh, what a cool nana that she told me that. Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm just like, I wonder if it is. So here I am.
Okay, so I'll go into a little bit of
genealogist. I can actually find this out.
Yes. You can. So I have found out a little bit of information.
Okay.
So your nana told you that it was her grandfather was Diana Spencer's great-grandfather. Is that correct?
Was brothers with.
Yeah.
I think that was it. But I was like 8.
Yep.
So that's my recollection. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start off with what I found. So I started the research, obviously, with your nana.
Yeah.
And I found her pretty much straight away, as you know. Now, I wasn't sure if you knew this before, and I did send you a message that she had a previous marriage. So she was born in England, and then she met an Australian Royal Australian Air Force man named William, who actually died in the English Channels.
My dad's middle name is William. That must be where that came from.
There you go. Maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe. Okay. So, sorry, I've got dot points here, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss any. I'm still trying to look into his death because my great uncle is very helpful with any Defence Force records.
Okay.
So he was so he was a pilot, Air Force pilot, and he was given his license 4 months before he passed away.
Oh my God.
So I want to look into that a little bit and find out if he was the actual flying the plane and if it was a plane crash. even. I don't even know that as of yet. So I'm still looking into that for you. Hi, Kerry.
So were they were really young and had I think I knew that she had some previous children. So were they like young with young kids in this house?
Sorry, give me a second. I didn't pop that in my little note there to write.
Oh, that's fine.
Not quite sure. I've got it here. Sorry, I've got children trying to enter the room. Okay, so she was 26 when she married him.
Okay.
Okay. So after he passed, he was from Australia, obviously, like I said before. After he passed, she got on a boat and came to Australia. And I wasn't 100% sure if it was the same Gertrude at the time. So I went and had a look at the shipping record and looked and found out it had an address there. It said such and such address in Albury, New South Wales. And I thought, that's a bit strange because the family's, from what you've told me, is from Victoria. And she was from England. Why would she be going to New South Wales? So I looked into that specific address, found some census records based around that address, and found that that was William's home address. That's where he lived before he went to war. So her and a daughter, you are right, she did have a previous child, they got on a boat and came to see his family, obviously, after the passing. From there, somehow, she's managed to find herself in Victoria. That's where little bits of information like that. I mean, they could have got on a bus, they could have driven here. It could be any ways of getting here and reasons why, I'm unsure. But we did find her living in Hughesdale in Victoria, and then she married your grandfather.
Okay.
So a little bit of information there. Now, her siblings and her mother all followed her here to Australia also. Not all her siblings, the ones that were just newly married without children, they all jumped on a boat as well and came to Victoria to live in the same street as her as well, which was nice. So they all lived in the same street together, which, yeah, a little bit of goosebumps there. Yeah. So that was a little bit of clever information, and I'll go into a little bit more about that with you privately, of whereabouts they lived, because you'll know the area very well. So say hi, Joshie. Her parents were Austin Spencer and Florence Moult.
Oh,
I think that's how you
the best names. I love those names.
Austin and Florence, beautiful names.
Oh, yeah. They say when naming kids, like, go back through your family tree because there's probably awesome names there. And so I love that, Austin and Florence. Oh.
Yeah. So that was their parents, her parents. And so she was one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children.
Oh,
yes. So a lot of information, and I've got all their details here and who they married as well for you. So this will all be in a big report that I'm doing for you. And I've even managed to find out a couple of the, so your father's cousins, first cousins. I've managed to find out some of their names as well. So that'll all be in there for you too. Now, Austin Spencer was a collier, and he was from the Leicester area in England. He was one of 16 children.
Oh, we're good baby makers, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah, so 16 children. And his father was Nathaniel, and his mother was Matilda.
Wow.
Now, Nathaniel was, he worked in the railways. So started off, when he was young, he lived at home, obviously. When he was 19, he moved out of home and was living as a lodger. So he was paying board, essentially, living with, I haven't been able to find out if they're strangers or family friends or something like that, but that's something that we can go deeper into as well. And that's when the railway boom started, when he was only young. So before he moved out of home, the railway boom, which was in the Leicester area, all the railroads, all the industry just boomed. So all the railroads were built. So it would have been really big in his hometown working with the railways. So obviously
what
that's how.
generation are we? Are we talking like 1920s
So
or something?
So the railway boom was in 1861.
Oh, we've
Yeah.
gone further back than okay. Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, Austin was born in 1887. So your grandmother, sorry, let me just go back. Okay, so she was born in 1916. Your grandmother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than 100 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we have gone back quite a bit here.
So
so yeah.
she was older when she had my dad then. She was like, for that era, I imagine she was pretty old. Because he was born in
she would have been.
So she was in her 40s?
55?
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Sorry, it comes up here. Comes up with all her brothers and sisters. Hang on.
She was
Let me get
she
the
was born in
calculator out.
1916 and had a baby in 1955, and yeah, she was about 40. Okay. There you go. It was the second marriage.
Yeah, 39. Yeah, 39 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just lost my page. So she was older when she had the children. She had that previous child which she brought over here, moved to Victoria, and then had 3 more children from what I found. Is that right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And my granddad had like 2, I think, as well.
Yes.
So there's 6 altogether.
Yeah. So he had 1 previous marriage as well.
Okay. Yeah.
With a child. Yeah. So he began. Going back to Nathaniel and the railway boom. That all started when he was 9. So he was working in the railways his whole life. He started off just labouring, essentially, working in the railways. I'm just still trying to find that page. Okay, so he was the fireman. So he was the one that put all the coals in to make the train go. And then he goes on, and eventually he becomes the driver. He's the one driving the trains. So he made a good career out of something that's happened in his hometown when he was quite young. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm looking a little bit into that as well. I want to see if I could find maybe the name of the train that he drove and find a picture for you, but I haven't been able to find anything as of yet. But there's still something that we can look into.
Wow, it really is like there are rabbit holes everywhere out there.
Yeah. Now his father was William Spencer. And again, he was from the Leicester area. So the whole family stayed in that area, which is pretty common, especially for that day and age. They all stayed in the area. And he had the 3 children, which was Nathaniel Spencer, your great grandfather, and George Henry Spencer.
Okay. I love these names so much.
Yes. Now, if the story your grandmother told you is correct, then that would mean Princess Diana's great-grandfather would be George Henry Spencer. Unfortunately, it is not.
Okay.
So the story is not correct. However, they are Spencers and they do live in England. Okay. So a lot of the times our family tell us these stories and they get mixed. It's like Chinese whispers. It gets all mixed. So her grandparents could have told her something and then it's all got mixed and eventually it's come out that, you're related. And you might be. It's very possible, but not as closely as she may have thought.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, she said that it was her grandfather was brothers, I think.
Yes, so that would mean George Henry. So George Henry is the brother.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he's not. No.
Okay, cool. So there's a chance that I got my wires crossed somewhere along the way, or she was just like, you know what, we probably are, because we're Spencers.
Yeah. Well, she might have believed that too.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because back then, when maybe she was told that story, and probably they didn't know that genealogy was going to become a thing.
Yes. Yes, very, very
Oh, how
possible.
funny.
Yeah, but I had the same thing. My grandmother used to tell me that we were from Canada.
Yeah.
And I went back and I traced the family, and we were never from Canada, but we did have a great, great uncle that was in the Canadian Army. So, but he was never from Canada.
Yeah.
No. So
Yeah.
we have no Canadian blood. But these stories get changed. They get mixed up. Like I said, Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. I mean, we can always go back further and have a look, but I've gone back another 2 generations, and so far I still haven't been able to find a link for you yet.
Okay. All right.
But we do have some amazing little stories there, which that we can delve deeper into as well for you.
We do. I so want to know about William and and her coming over on the boat and how that came about and why. And yeah, I feel like that would be a really interesting story.
So I've put all this into the report, and I've got copies of the documents that I've been able to find. And the ones that I haven't got copies of the documents, I've given you links to where you can go and get those copies from if you wish to. A lot of the time they are going into libraries and looking. So, but yeah, so there you go.
Amazing. Is it fun? Do you love what you do? Like
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I really do. I've spent nearly every day doing a little bit more and a little bit more, and some nights I was up till who knows what hour of the morning. But yeah, no, I absolutely do love it. The research is what drives me. Yeah.
And now you're on to Darren. Darren wants to know his
Yes. Now I'm on to Darren's family, so I'll start his as well, and maybe we can combine them into a poster or something for you as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much. This was so fun.
No worries at all, beautiful. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We've got a few people watching.
Yeah, we did. Hi, Joshie.
Hello.
Oh, so fun. All right.
There you go.
All right, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the report. Thank you, darling.
Yes. I'll be in contact with you, and we'll organise a day, and I'll come over and I'll show you, and maybe take you for a little drive also.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, because it's like local. All right, yay. Oh, fun.
Yes. Yep. All right, no worries.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
That's okay. Bye.